First tonight, the National Security Minister says if an extradition request is made, government is prepared to cooperate. This after a shocking U.S. indictment naming several Bahamians was revealed. Plus, setting and breaking records. The aviation director says the country is bracing for another historic year in tourism. And then junior doctors at Princess Margaret Hospital receiving an early Christmas present. Corporate Bahamas steps in to assist with a much-needed renovation. We've got the details on these stories and more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. The government is prepared to cooperate with U.S. officials if an extradition request is made. This assurance comes from National Security Minister Wayne Monroe. While leaving the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Monroe addressed questions about the government's stance on the recent U.S. indictment. The indictment implicates several Bahamians, including members of the armed forces, alleging their involvement in facilitating the trafficking of illegal drugs and firearms through the Bahamas and into the United States. Additionally, there are allegations of a potential $2 million payout to a high-ranking Bahamian politician.
The Prime Minister said if and when the U.S. decide to move and request their extradition, we will abide by the rules that govern this land. This country is under the rule of law, so we will follow all of the laws and rules. Whenever and if ever that happens, we will act in accordance with the law.
Monroe also addressed concerns about those persons skipping town.
Unless and until we have reason to detain you, we can't interfere with your movements. Wherever they go, there will be extradition arrangements with the United States of America. It is a matter, as the Prime Minister has said, that the indictment is a serious allegation. Persons will have their day in court when that arrives, and the law will take its course.
And tonight, former Democratic National Alliance Minister Branville McCartney is weighing in on that much-talked-about U.S. indictment. McCartney sharing his thoughts on the matter, saying it's something that's been very unfortunate for the Bahamian people.
We do hope that this can be cleared up. I think the government has a huge task in dealing with it. I think they are a bit slow in their dealings and dealing with the Bahamian public, to give the Bahamian public some comfort that things will be all right. Whether that's the case, I can't say, but I think the government needs to really act and not shy away from the issue at hand.
In the wake of that indictment, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced the resignation of Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander. There were also calls from the Free National Movement and Coalition of Independents for the resignation of National Security Minister Wayne Monroe. But McCartney says there is a bigger focus at hand.
I wouldn't agree with Mr. Monroe resigning. I think that's up to the Prime Minister. I think the more important issue is not the resignation of the minister. The more important issue is determining what we're going to do as a nation moving forward to deal with this corruption and to deal with trying to salvage our reputation internationally.
Well, meantime, in addition to being International Human Rights Day, December 10th also marked 40 years since the adoption of the United Nations Convention Against Torture. There are 175 countries that are members of this convention, the Bahamas recently becoming a core state in the convention. Head of the Convention Against Torture Initiative, Gaithriel Pillay, explains how torture is defined.
Torture under the Convention Against Torture specifically is defined as an act that is committed under the acquiescence of the government, whether by a positive action or by an omission. And so the UN Convention Against Torture also puts in place guidance for states to prevent such acts from happening. And the convention also looks at other ill treatment, such as cruel, inhuman, or degrading punishment as well.
When asked about concerns as it relates to working against torture in the region,
some broad concerns when it comes to torture and other ill treatment includes bringing into line laws and regulations fully up to code with the UN Convention Against Torture. There are challenges also faced when it comes to implementing the Convention Against Torture, and that can also be addressed through strengthening law enforcement, having training and capacity building for police, and also key agencies and actors working in this area.
As the holiday season and end of year approaches, the Bahamas is bracing for another historic year in tourism, with air travel expected to soar. Despite challenges, the country is witnessing strong growth in both foreign and domestic air arrivals. Our Delvado Emmanuel has the latest on how the aviation sector is preparing for a busy December and January.
This is panning out to be another very historic year for overall tourism performance, including overall foreign air arrivals to the Bahamas.
Tourism is set to hit new heights once again, with the Bahamas seeing record-breaking numbers in foreign air arrivals. Director of Aviation Dr. Kenneth Roma shared that the first 3 quarters of 2024 have already shown impressive growth and is on track to surpass 2023's milestone numbers.
At the end of 2023, we had reached almost 10 million visitors, but 9.7 million, we had surpassed that. Up to the first 3 quarters in 2024. So this is going to be another banner year for tourism, not just for arrivals into Nassau Paradise Island, but we're seeing, again, record-breaking air arrivals in our family islands and also in Grand Bahama.
Now, despite this optimism, challenges remain. Hotel operators have been pushing for more airlift, but there's a pressing need for more accommodation to match the growing demand. The aviation director says they're collaborating with hotel partners and exploring alternative accommodations like Airbnbs to meet these demands.
It's been a conundrum. We've been working with our hotel partners. We've been working again with alternative sources as it relates to accommodations for our visitors, your Airbnbs, and while we are growing airlift at the same time, we must simultaneously also grow our room occupancy.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thanks so much, Delvado. Well, when our news weekend returns, the junior doctors of PMH getting an early Christmas treat thanks to a local foundation and corporate Bahamas. We have the details right after this break.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Upgrades at the Princess Margaret Hospital are ongoing, but this time it's corporate Bahamas stepping in. The lounge area, utilized by junior doctors who rely on the area for much-needed breaks during their long work shifts, getting an upgrade. Our Joshua Williams attending the unveiling and gives us this look inside.
Junior doctors at the Princess Margaret Hospital now have a more comfortable space to lounge in during their break time. In honor of the Aid and Karen Foundation, members of corporate Bahamas coming together to renovate and brighten the space young physicians use to get away from the hustle and bustle of healthcare. It includes refurnishing and renovations to the kitchen and sitting areas, along with behind-the-scenes construction work. President and CEO of Bahamas Aviation, Climate and Severe Weather Network, Lyron Burrows, says it's not about the monetary value of the donation, but creating a comfortable environment for those tasked with working in the health field.
We have the Tribune Limited, we have Woodyou Furniture, we have Sinorama, we have Mr. Rufus Johnson, as well as Mr. Jermaine Clark. And earlier, a question was asked about the monetary size of the contribution. So our focus is not on the monetary aspect of it. A lot of what was done through actual in-kind donations.
Dr. Amy Moss is one of the young physicians that will enjoy the new lounge. She says working long hours can be a burden, and a space like this helps to make the workflow a bit easier.
It really means a lot to us, especially because we do work so hard, long hours, and people don't really appreciate how long we're here. I had a patient, I saw him maybe on Monday, and then I saw him on Tuesday, and he's like, you're wearing the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, baby, I didn't go home. Don't tell anyone.
Dr. Moss admits that it's hard being a young doctor in the Bahamas. With a physician shortage, coupled with a number of young doctors electing to move abroad than stay home, Dr. Moss says this.
Community involvement goes a long way because the young doctors can see that they are actually appreciated in their country, because a lot of times if you just honestly open social media, we are getting bashed left, right, and center. So just people seeing that there's a need for us, people having a heart for us, it kind of encourages us to do our work more, and it encourages us to stay home.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, it's a holly jolly Christmas for the Bahamas Red Cross, the non-profit hosting a tea party recently to raise funds for their ongoing initiatives. We'll tell you all about it, but first...
A Bahamian wins the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise for the third straight year. Find out who next on Our Sports Weekend.
Looks like Sana is happy to see that we're everywhere just like him, because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts. Happy holidays from the team you already trust.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us here at RTV.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. The Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise has become a cultural phenomenon, serving as a showcase for prospects from both the Bahamas and abroad. The 7th edition was played yesterday and it did not disappoint. Chavez Young kept the trophy at home, becoming the third consecutive Bahamian to win the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise at Montague Beach yesterday. The 27-year-old free agent outfielder had to overcome former champs Josh Palacios of the Pittsburgh Pirates and B.J. Murray in a three-way final to claim the 2024 title.
It's a blessing to be here. Thank God, blessing me with brothers that have this beautiful event for us, for our country. Shout out to Lou, shout out to Todd. Hey, shout out, thank God for the blessings and opportunities each and every day. Hey, quick shout out to my best friend, Pilo from the Blue. We played with the James and Pirates.
Sign that.
Hey, he gave me a little power today. Power on him. Shout out to my dog for coming from Brooklyn. It's a blessing of, our brothers from the States that we play with, to come to our beautiful country and to share this beautiful event with Lucius and Todd,
Don't Blink has gone from being a home run derby to becoming a full-on celebration of the sport. With the Players Alliance, a collective of back former players committed to growing the game abroad, look for Don't Blink to continue to grow. Congratulations to Chavez. Somebody signed him right away. Also, congratulations to the organizers, Todd Isaacs Jr. and Lucius Fox Jr. for pulling off another week of great events. Now we head back to the court, where Bahamians took to the floor last night. A.J. Starr came off the bench for the number 10 University of Kansas Jayhawks in their 75-60 win over the North Carolina State Wolfpack. He had 2 points and 2 rebounds in 17 minutes. Frederick King had 2 points and 3 rebounds as Creighton Blue Jays fell to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And Donnie Freeman had 8 points as the Syracuse Orange lost to the Georgetown Hoyas 75-71. Before we go, Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen and her Mississippi Rebels played South Alabama earlier today, and a couple of Bahamians are squaring up in the NBA in the next hour. Klay Thompson and his Dallas Mavericks are preparing to go against Buddy Hield and the Warriors. Check out our socials and our newscast for all the results. That is a wrap for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tej Adderley. Have a great week.
Thanks so much, Tej. And before we head to the break, we want to remind you that there's still time to win a brand new all-electric 2024 BYD SUV this Boxing Day, courtesy of Our News and Easy Car Sales. Visit ournews.bs, click the Ride Easy with Our News banner, answer the question correctly, and you're entered to win. Good luck. Well, on the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKenzie steps into the Weather Center with your weather outlook for the days ahead. Stick with us.
It's from Santa. He says it's for all of our hard work this year and for being the best and most accurate news of all. Thank you, Santa. And for you at home, we're wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the team you already trust.
Welcome back to our news weekend. Windy weather on the outside of our studios today, but could we see that continue throughout the week? Well, here's Ian McKinsey with a check on temperatures and your weather outlook.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. We're currently outside our studios under partly cloudy skies at temperature 77. Winds from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature at 75. Temperatures across the country. In Freeport, we have 72. Also in Great Harbor Key, 74 in Alliston, 75 in Nicholstown, a pair of 77s in the capital, and in Governor's Harbor, 73 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 77 in the Central Bahamas, continuing in Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, as well as Coburn Town, a pair of 78s in Georgetown and Deadman's Key. In the Southeast Bahamas, 79 in Duncantown, Matthewtown, and in Abraham's Bay, 77 in Colonel Hill, 78 in Delectable Bay, and 80 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Satellite and radar imagery at this time, few clouds across the northwest Bahamas, all courtesy of that strong high-pressure system north of the area, should gradually shift by midweek in the wake of a front that should push through the area, and that should diminish winds quite a bit across our area. Across all areas, we still have that small craft remain in port. U-boaters as well as swimmers stay on shore. Winds will be northeast to east, 20 to 30, gusting high at times. Seas 8 to 12 near shore, but up to 14 feet offshore in those northeasterly swells. Low tide at 1:42 a.m. tomorrow morning. High tide at 8:10 a.m. tomorrow morning. In your extended forecast, those winds should diminish Wednesday ahead of a cold front. Thursday, bringing some showers across our area. Secondary cold front pushing through on Saturday. That should dip things down, cool it off a bit. Those highs only getting up into the low 80s. By the end of the week, dipping down a bit into the 70s with your lows hanging around the upper 60s, low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun week, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. During the Yuletide season, numerous organizations host fundraisers contributing to the greater philosophy of Christmas, which is the spirit of giving. The Bahamas Red Cross is one of those organizations. The nonprofit hosting a holly jolly Christmas tea party last weekend at the Balmoral Club under the patronage of the Deputy Prime Minister's wife, Mrs. Cecilia Cooper. Vice President of the Bahamas Red Cross, Kim Thurston, says the organization thrives thanks to donors and events like these, which help them provide support to the most vulnerable in our community. She also tells us about an ambitious goal they have for 2025.
We need to have a number of fundraisers in order to keep the Red Cross afloat and be able to manage all these different programs that we do on a daily basis. For instance, we serve every day over 150 lunches to persons who are sick and shut-ins. We also give out monthly food parcels to those persons who may be able to cook for themselves. Okay, and we have a very ambitious agenda for 2025. And one of the things on our agenda is we'd like to see President Sumner have raised this challenge. We'd like to see a halfway house built in the city for all those persons who are homeless.
And as we shared earlier this week, Our News Digital is teaming up with Alive to give away 4 pairs of Junkanoo tickets leading all the way up to December 21st. To enter, follow Our News on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for our Junkanoo trivia questions announced during our newscast. Comment your answer under each trivia post on the correct platform using hashtag JunkanooIsAlive. Once you've done that, your name will be entered for a chance to win. Now, last night, we gave you our second of 4 trivia questions. Which year did we have the controversial Lucky Charm Christmas tree? Dozens of Our News followers had to head on over to our TikTok page and comment their answers under the post for a chance to win. The answer? 2019. Now, if you participated in yesterday's trivia, head on over to our TikTok page to find out if you'll be attending this year's parade, courtesy of Our News Digital and Alive. And thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepard here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.